What's up, traders? Welcome back to the hot seat. Today, I've got Shane Hudson coming from Tennessee in the building. Shane, thanks for doing this, man. It's good to meet you.
Great to meet you as well. Thanks for having me on, Austin.
Absolutely. So, in the hot seat, everybody, what we usually do is talk about how the traders are using Tradezella. Last week, we talked to Evan Dyer about how he's using it for his futures trading. Today, we're talking to Shane about some good old Forex pairs. Shane's been trading since 2017, and he's got, I can already tell from talking to him for 10 minutes, he's got a lot of knowledge to share. So, we're going to keep it concise here today. I want to focus on the assets you're trading first, Shane. So, we're looking at your top 10 symbols by distribution and by performance. What does this tell you, like when you study this? Because I know you said you have your Friday meetings with your buddy that you guys go over your data. What does this tell you?
Yeah, so this really tells me that my top pairs to trade are GU, AU, and EU. Typically, when I take my trades, I only want to take about 1 to 2 trades per week that I do swing. And really from there, depending if the trades work out, awesome. If not, I'm typically done for the week and don't like to continue to take more trades than that. But based on the data, I can see that when I would add USD Swiss to my pair list or even USD CAD, even though it looks great, they all together weren't that great for how I trade. So I just decided to stick to the top pairs you see at the top there, the GU, AU, and EU.
That makes sense. I think that's what I would hope most people get from using this section of the data is that they
Right.
see which assets to focus on and which ones not to. But I mean, also, if you look at distribution, it's not like you're taking a ton of trades on USD CHF or USD CAD, to
Exactly.
be fair, right? So, like in a year from now, you'll have a lot more data. USD CAD could make a move to the top. USD CHF could move to the top. Do you think any of this has to do with seasonality? Do you think GU and AU and EU, because they're dollar quote pairs, have something to do with the trends that you've been seeing?
Yeah, I would say so. As it starts getting into the fall seasons, EU, AU, and GU just they trend pretty much. What I'm trying to say is they tend to ride a little bit longer, and I can hold those winners longer. Typically, a lot on this data shows 1 to 3s where I hold them for about 60 pips and then I exit the trade. So typically, for a seasonality standpoint, the fall months are usually my best. Those are my best pairs for the fall months.
That's awesome. So one other thing I wanted to do with you, Shane, is let's look at trade time and we'll look at some trade duration. I know you're taking
Absolutely.
trades all of the days of the week. I saw before you're looking at Sundays, sometimes Mondays. What does this tell you? Because I see some interesting data points here. Like most of your trades are 8 to 9 a.m. That's where you're making most of your money. Also doing a lot of pre-market, like London session trading that isn't helping as much. So what have you taken out of the hour by hour breakdown here?
Yeah, hour by hour breakdown. What I've taken from here is that when I wake up in the morning and take my trades at 8 a.m., typically if I'm stopped out within that first hour to 2 hours, the trade's not going to work out. But if that trade continues to ride and I can see on the data that it's either getting taken profit by the time London hits around, then I know that the momentum on my strategy is continuing forth. And typically that's why I've just stuck to 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. looking for entries in the market and really just swing it for 60 pips or more based on my momentum strategy.
And what time frame are you doing most of your analysis on when you start? 4 hour?
So yes, on the 4 hour. So I only trade the 4 hour. I don't do any low time frames.
Oh,
I
that's
found
cool.
that 4 hour works best for me with my consulting schedule that I work for small and medium sized businesses throughout the day. So big believer in trading the 4 hour, setting it, forgetting it, and just letting my trade either hit take profit or monitoring my trade by call alerts and seeing if it's time to exit the trade based on what the market's doing.
Are you going to do manual exits or are you really going to let them take profit or stop loss? And that's how you like to see it out. Do you do any partial closes or anything like that?
So I've learned I used to do partial closes, doing trading throughout the years. But then what I really learned is that the best thing for me and what I try to do is when I'm in a trade, I look to want to add to my winner. A lot of this data on this current account might not show that, but as my trade continues to run, I want to create a big winner out of it and really scale that current trade. And that's typically what I like to do. It's great to take partials, but I found that in a way, why am I trying to get out of the market and take some profits when I can continue to let my trade ride and go in the direction it wants to go?
For sure. Do you find that funding pips has been good to you? I know that that's one of the accounts you're tracking in here. What's your opinion on them?
Yeah, Funny Pips is great. I had requested a payout. It was out on my wall here actually. It was on 8/29. They paid me out on September 2nd. So that was good, processed in 2 days. Actually,
Yeah,
today I'm going to request another payout by 3 p.m. Central, and I'll see how
nice.
fast they get that out. So prop firms are really great for the aspect of you can pay $400 or $500, pass the challenge, get a 100K account, and really you can 5, 10x your money on that account, take some of that money, put it into an actual brokerage account so you have full control over it, especially a broker that's straight through processing, that's STP rather, really important in the industry, and really grow your account over time, have full control over it.
Love that. Two more questions for you. What are you
Yeah,
working on
absolutely.
right now? I'm looking at your overview. A lot of these stats are good. Average winning trade is over a day. Average losing trade is 2/3 of a day, basically. So your winners are longer than your losers. Your average win is almost twice as big as your average loss. So there's a lot of good to these stats. So I'm curious to know, what are you working on?
Really, right now, what I'm working on is this account particularly was a lot of 1 to 2, 1 to 3 trades. Right now, I'm really working on getting in a trade, holding that winner as long as I can. Obviously, as traders, we don't need to hold the entire trend and have this ego behind it that we gathered the whole move. That's not the point there. My point is really to let my trade ride and just allow it to pretty much have a trailing stop and kind of fall into my stop loss as the trade moves in my favor, and just see how much of the move I can gather. And really from there, continue to add to my winners and just allow myself to be uncomfortable in a trade, because you're trading right when you're uncomfortable, and you can just let your trade continue to ride and when it's in profit.
So true. And I think from my side, like when I look at stats like this, dude, it's really, really awesome. You don't have any
Thank you.
outsized losing days. That's the big standout to me. It's like you do run into some losing trades, but you manage it really well. And every time you've hit losing streaks, you've come back strong with wins. I think that says a lot. It says you probably are pretty confident in your strategy too. So now my final question, when you coming over to futures, bro? When are you going to bring this strategy over to some futures trading?
It's funny, right? That's a good question. The thing about futures is that, especially with the prop industry and how it's going and how things
Can't
have
swing
been,
trade.
thing in the US having to close before the end of the day, definitely possible. As mentioned, my buddy, he trades on the low time frame, and I do have a strategy for that. Haven't been implementing it, but definitely is possible to jump to futures. Hey, in the US, if I couldn't do FX anymore, I just have to transition over and make it happen.
You'd have to come to the dark side and become a dirty scalper like me.
Yes, that's
So
exactly
now,
right.
final thing, would you recommend Tradezella to people that you know that are looking to get better at trading?
Yeah, absolutely. I would 100% recommend Tradezella because it's a great platform to chart all your trades based on right here, your total P&L, looking at your average hold time, seeing really what your trade expectancy is on any given day. And then also too, there's a calendar option at the bottom of the screen here. You can see how you're performing on a daily, weekly, or monthly perspective. And you can just really look at your trades over the course of an entire year, look at your consistency. It really gives you a really good breakdown onto, as we touched at the beginning of this call, when is best for you to enter on your trades, where your winning days, where your losing days, and really where you can strategically trade better based on a lot of that data.
Love it. Shane, it's great to meet you, bro. I really appreciate you doing this little segment. I'm sure the listeners do as well. Guys, if you are not signed up for Tradezella, we've got links in the next tweet or in the description to this video for 10% off your monthly and 20% off your yearly membership. Definitely take advantage of that. But for now, Shane, I think we'll put a pin in it. And bro, maybe we do a full podcast together. I would love to have you
Yeah,
on and
let's do
talk
it.
more
I'd
about
love
your
that.
strategy. Okay, cool. We'll
Absolutely.
set that up. Listeners, thank you very much. Thanks for being here for this episode of The Hot Seat, and we'll see you guys in the next one.